Come to join us. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokom, namely on DTT, because we're free to wear. Coming up this morning, elders and pressure groups in Tema seek justice for people killed during a procession last Friday. We have more on this for you this morning. Also this morning, lawyer Kwabena Boateng emerges winner of the New Patriotic Party's parliamentary primary for Ejiso. We are in that constituency for more on the upcoming by-election. Plus, the coalition of CSOs in HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria asks government to ensure remaining containers of essential drugs are cleared at the port. We have details of that plus business. All of that coming up this morning. While the Tema Youth Association is demanding justice for victims of the incident, excerpts of the statement issued by the group reads, and it's there on your screen shortly. The Tema Youth Association is deeply saddened and outraged by the tragic event that occurred during the Tema Youth Festival, resulting in the loss of lives and injuries to innocent celebrants. During the festivities of the Youth Festival, the celebration cherished by the people of Tema, officers of the Navy recklessly drove into the crowd of festival celebrants, leading to chaos and panic. Shockingly, this incident escalated further as the officers proceeded to take the lives of two innocent individuals. Article 39 of the Constitution, which falls under the directive principles of state policy, touches upon the promotion and preservation of cultural heritage. And this emphasizes the promotion of integration among the diverse people of Ghana, which inherently involves the acknowledgement and preservation of various cultural identities within the nation, which some elements in the Ghana Navy have grossly defied. The Tema Youth Association vehemently condemns this act of brutality and calls for swift and decisive action to be taken. We demand a thorough and impartial national probe into the circumstances surrounding this incident to uncover the truth and hold those responsible fully accountable for their act. We can now speak with security analyst Adib Sani, who joins us via Zoom. I've also been joined by youth spokesperson of the Tema Traditional Council, Henry Oko Oninku. I'll start with you, Henry. What's your own account of what transpired on Friday? All right, so we'll get Henry to join us to tell us more on what really transpired, but Adib Sani is here with us. Adib, we've had cause to complain about such clashes, especially when the community people are not armed versus these security personnel who have arms and use it to their advantage. What's your own reading into what has happened?
It's an unfortunate incident. The loss of life is needless. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. I think, on one hand, if the people had exercised restraint, if they had respected the laws by not blocking public roads and allowing access, or perhaps speak with the police so they are able to provide them, means to reroute other motorists, I think it would have helped. On the other hand, if the security agents, to be specific, the soldiers, had exercised utmost professional restraint, I think this could have been prevented. But looking at it from the wider spectrum, I think new issues are coming up. And one of the issues that I have raised is the closeness of military installations to civilian settlements. I think it's too close for comfort. And in some cases, when armories catch fire, residents are forced to flee from their homes. And when you go to other jurisdictions, usually military installations are far from prying eyes, because the 21st century forces us to sit in our rooms, close to the target area, and we are able to hack into their systems and spy on them. So I think that going forward, we would have to really look closely at where we locate our security installations that I think should be far from the public. Well, maybe at the point of it being sited there, the place had not opened up like it is. I mean, the Greater Accra region is opening up by the day. Sometimes people are curious to know whether Kasua is part of Greater Accra or is part of Central region, because Kasua and Accra have merged. As the days or months or years go by, Kasua and Winneba is also merging. So perhaps at that time, it was away from civilian residents. So what I am suggesting is, the next time we are going to establish military installations, let us locate it away from civilian residents and also create a very wide buffer that would not allow people or enable people to build close to these military installations. And I'm particularly also curious about Tema, because Tema is not the only place we have the military coexisting peacefully with the civilian population. In Tamale, for instance, we all grew up very close to the Kamina barracks. We have the 6B and the Airborne Force and the rest. And immediately after Kamvili, which is a civilian residential area, is the military barracks called Kamina, all right? We don't have these clashes, but in Tema, we have noticed a consistent pattern of clashes between the soldiers and the civilians, and it makes some of us wonder why, what exactly is going on.
Thankfully, Henry Oko-Oninku is with the Traditional Council. He has joined us. Henry, what's your own account of what transpired on Friday? Was it a matter of your people not being law-abiding, or what really is your account of what happened?
Aisha, thank you very much. Once again, let me use this very opportunity and express our deepest condolences to the bereaved family once again. Like you mentioned, they're actually celebrating festival and they have met their untimely deaths. I heard my brother saying that it's quite unfortunate you have this misunderstanding always rising between the military and the civilian. In fact, I am 30 plus age now, and this is actually the first time I'm having such experience. Like I said, I spoke to the other reporters yesterday. Everything happened right in my presence. I saw the shooting and everything. But then we have never had any issues with the military as far as my stay in Tema Youth is concerned. They live with us. We are very friendly. As I speak to you now, I am a landlord to 2 military personnel. They are in my apartment now. When I see them, we are cool. I mean, most of them are our friends. When we are having our festivals in town, when we are having our funerals, sometimes we even go to the extent of renting or hiring their band and those stuff. So personally, I think whatever happened yesterday has to do with tempers that rose. And since I was in the scene, I expected the military personnel that I engaged to at least give me a listening ear, because after the incident has happened, I calmed them. I made it known to them that I am representing the Traditional Council as far as the youth is concerned. And personally, I was part of the procession. I saw everything that happened. I even went to the extent of asking them to drive back into their base, because it was where the incident happened was actually just 2 minutes drive from the entrance of their base, which I was there. They drove back into the base. And I even told them that I will report the case to the traditional leaders, and I'll make sure that that windscreen is going to be fixed as soon as possible. Unfortunately, the other group came and the other military.
Right, so Henry is with the Traditional Council. He's trying to explain what, right. So Henry, what could have triggered the temper rising?
You know, one thing we have known about the military is that anytime you had a banter with one military officer, per their training, per their rules and regulations as far as their training are concerned, they will definitely come after you. So like I'm saying, I settled the case with them because one of them mentioned my name, future MP. Look at what your people have done. And then I spoke to him calmly. I begged them. I pleaded on behalf of my guys, because the speed with which they entered us was what actually, erupted the heat. Because unfortunately, if it has been death, they might end up killing not less than 10 people. And that is why the youth also took the law into their own hands and started hitting the vehicle we are talking about. But on a more serious note, like I'm saying, we settled the case only for another group to pass, for the military men to be arresting them and beating them. I mean, it was uncalled for. So basically, that is what really transpired. Yes, but like I'm saying, we have always lived with them. They have been our friends. They have been our sisters. And the most beautiful part is that we have indigenes who are proud Tema men, indigenous people in Tema who are also in the service. So we see them as our brothers. I have closest, in fact, my closest friend now, he's an Alasan, he's a military personnel. So we don't have any issue with them.
You said that you want a probe into this whole incident. And what exactly do you want?
Okay, so per the communique that came from the Ghana Armed Forces, they stated categorically that it was only when they went to the hospital that they were told that these were, gunshot wounds.
Right. So you had the Henry Oninko.
Even in the state, I think yesterday, right. I spoke to one of the public relations officer, and then he mentioned that they don't know whether those wounds are knife stab wounds or something. But the district commander for Ghana Police Service stated emphatically clear that whatever he saw at the Tema General Hospital were actually gunshot wounds. That is why we have given the respect to the Ghana Police Service to probe this matter further for the Ghana Armed Forces to attest to the fact, yes, that they really shot into the crowd, and that is what resulted that. And at the end of it all, the affected families, the Tema Traditional Council, not necessarily a compensation, but the affected families must also feel that the military has regretted what they did, and they are trying to calm them rather than issuing communique with threats. Yesterday, the communique they issued, to be precise, at the latter part of the communique, they mentioned that anytime the youth try to come on board, they are going to respond in that accurate manner. On a more serious note, as a representative of the youth, we have met them severally. Even this morning, we have had another meeting with them. No youth in Tema will take the law into their whole hands, as in attacking them or kind of something. No, we are not going to do that. We are law-abiding citizens. And whatever happened that day, if we had wanted to retaliate, it would have been a different thing altogether. So, in fact, right this morning, we are going to petition the presidency. We are petitioning the interior minister. We are petitioning the defense ministry. And the Greater Accra Regional Minister Designate, yesterday, he was there throughout the day. The mayor of Tema, being the MESEC chairman, was also there. The member of parliament for the Tema East constituency was also there. And they are coming to consensus. They are building themselves up. And I know definitely they will find a lasting solution and justice to our bereaved brothers and their families.
So the people that died, the two people, have there been any autopsy conducted on them?
Yeah, so because it was within the weekend, I think the final meeting we had at the Tema Traditional Council, the Tema Traditional Council leaders tasked the regional minister, the mayor, and the member of parliament, and also the Greater Accra Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service to meet them today. So I'm sure probably today, we gave them probably by 11 a.m. So any moment from now, we'll be meeting at the Tema Traditional Council, and I'm sure anything relating to autopsy or all those things will be made available for your consumption as far as credible journalism, as far as Joy News is concerned, will be taken into consideration.
Adib, in this probe, in fact, we're hearing that there's some investigation going on, but what we do not know is who actually is conducting this investigation, whether it's the police or it's the military. What do you expect from such an investigation, if there is any at all?
On a more serious note,
I expect the investigation to be thorough.
Right. You go ahead. I'll bring in Adib.
It to be transparent. If it is an investigation sanctioned and conducted by the military, trust me, nothing meaningful is going to come out of it. This is not the first time. Investigations have been conducted in the past. Indeed, our time and resources have been wasted in the past in commissions of inquiries, and in the end, nothing comes out of it, okay? So I think there's the need for an amicable solution to this. However, the solution cannot happen without justice. For crying out loud, Aisha, 2 citizens have lost their lives, and it's only imperative that for us to move forward as a people and to engender the relationship between the military and the people of that area based on mutual trust and respect, it is only important that there is justice, and that's exactly what has to happen. But surely, from my initial analysis about what really happened, I think it is a pure case of a clash of egos. Okay, something similar nearly happened during the Occupy Julobi protest in Accra. When the protesters were refused access to the Jubilee House, they retreated to the main 37 traffic intersection. Any vehicle that came around was turned back. Then from nowhere, a police vehicle came around from, I think, the Liberation Road, from Tetakwashi towards the 37. The people said, no, we are not going to allow you to pass. Then one of the officers got out of the vehicle with a very, smiley face, so to speak, convinced them that they were attending to a very important assignment. And guess what? They were not just given the right of way, they were cheered on whilst they passed. Moments later, there was a military, in fact, it wasn't a military vehicle. Some young soldiers in a Toyota Corolla who had apparently come from the Kaukudi area. Okay, so when they came, the usual buga, they wanted to go through the people, and the guy said, no, we're not going to allow you. At the point, some of the military guys came out there, and the guys laid on this road and said, okay, if you want to pass, you might have to just run over us. So in the end, the military turned away. But if things had gotten more heated up, it would have been a different story altogether. But I think in the midst of all this, it is important for the military to understand that it is not in their interest to have the people, the community in which they operate, becoming antagonistic towards them. And on the other hand, it is not in the interest of the people to be at loggerheads with the military, because in the end, the military serves your interests. Okay, everybody wants the military to be close to them. So in case of an emergency or any incident, the military would quickly act. So I think there's the need for more engagement and more education, so there's understanding. And I don't know whether the naval base there, they do open days where citizens can come in and see the work the military is putting into protecting us and appreciate the work of the military more. If not, it becomes a matter of we against them, and it dichotomizes, the military from the civilians and the civilians from the military, which I think doesn't help situations.
Grateful for your time. Adib Sani is a security analyst, and we were earlier also joined by Henry Oko Oninko, who is youth spokesperson for the Tema Traditional Council. Now, on your election headquarters, flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, will today wrap up the Building Ghana tour in the Northeast region. The former president, seeking a comeback, has visited 15 regions, taking opinions of the electorates to feed a party manifesto for the upcoming election. Mr. Mahama is scheduled to meet traditional rulers and other key stakeholders in the region in separate meetings. Tanaya Ojima, who is embedded with the NDC flag bearer, joins us on Zoom with details of that tour. Nana, where are you currently, and what has the NDC flag bearer been saying to the electorate?
Presently, John Dramani Mahama is yet to get to the Gamba Tema Palace here in Gambaga. Presently, the media and other members of the team are presently here on the ground, and the ground is being prepared for the main event itself. But John Dramani Mahama and the leadership of the NDC is yet to touch down. But the community, the residents, and the electorate are very excited about its coming to this area. The ground is already packed. A number of NDC supporters and other people who would want to hear John Mahama and the message he has for them, they are already on the ground. So the Gambarana Palace is the first place that the John Dramani Mahama's Building Ghana tour of the region will touch. And from here, he moves straight to the Imam's Mosque within Gambaga here. And from the mosque, he pays a courtesy call on the Naili, overlord of the Bumpurugu at Naili Palace. And he moves from there to Bumpurugu, where there is a Deba of peace which he is supposed to address. From the Deba, the John Mahama moves straight into a meeting with chief and imam here in Nalerigu. So it's a one-day tour, and this tour is supposed to end the Building Ghana tour already John Mahama has been to 15 regions in the country. The present region, which is the Northeast, will be the final and the wrap of the tour of the various parts of the country.
Nana Ojima there, he's embedded with the NDC flag bearer, John Mahama, who is wrapping up his tour of the Northeast region. We'll definitely bring you more of this in our subsequent bulletins. Now, the coalition of CSOs in HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria is asking government to ensure the remaining containers of drugs at the harbour are cleared. The request follows the clearing of 14 out of 182 containers of locked-up pharmaceutical products by the Ghana Revenue Authority to the Ministry of Health. The drugs are needed in the fight against HIV, AIDS, malaria and tuberculosis. Leader of the coalition, Ernest Otin, joins me for a conversation. Ernest, I'm grateful for your time. It must be heartwarming, first of all, to know that at least 14 of the containers have been cleared.
Yes, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity. Last Friday, we were quite excited to see the 14 containers cleared. We saw it as a symbolic gesture to actually confirm the fact that where the Commissioner General of the started and the process began. Spoke with her after 14 weeks and she was sure this very week the remaining containers will be cleared.
Ernest, how urgent is it for the remaining containers to be cleared?
It is very, very urgent. If we start with the malaria commodities, for example, you know, the rains are upon us now. The rainy season is just starting. And around this time, we see increases in cases of malaria because of stagnant waters, breeding of mosquitoes, and all of that. So this is the time normally distribute beds to pregnant men and children under 5 to urgently need the bed to come out. For us, our information is that starting from next week, we are likely to witness a very serious knockout the community. So we will get them into the health activities between now and of the month. 40, it is a thing. We are not running out medicine for TB. So we really need to have this and take it seriously.
Now, let's look at, the situation generally. If we talk about HIV/AIDS, you just spoke about malaria. You look at tuberculosis. Paint a picture of what the situation is right now.
Well, as we have been saying, for HIV, we are receiving reports from some health facilities that the adult patients have gone up. And so what is that the pediatric medications for children, those are that given to adults. Had one of these reports coming from Texas, so I'll try to find out from them if this is correct or not. Some of our members have been to some health facilities and they have not gotten their food flight. Normally, when a client very simple on treatment, they are given 6 months or 3 months supply of medication. But we have a situation where some are getting just 1 month supply because of the non-activity of the drug. For AF, for TB is the same scenario, and then for malaria, like we need the bed because they really in this of water.
How then do you intend to get government, push government to actually hit your demand?
Yes, tomorrow we are going to have a meeting with the acting Commissioner General of the GRA. She was the one who gave us assurance from the beginning that within a maximum of 14 days, she would ensure that all the communities will be cleared. And we are very grateful that within the very first week, we had those 14 cleared. And like I said, we saw it as a symbolic gesture of she actually honoring her way. So we are going to tomorrow to have a roadmap that will ensure that all the communities will be.
I'm grateful for your time. Ernest Otin is president of the Ghana HIV and AIDS Network. Minister Kwekufori Esiama is imploring sector heads and agencies in the transport sector to pursue aggressive communication on government's huge infrastructural interventions in that sector. He's worried that despite the huge investments government has made in the transport sector, most of the beneficiary communities appear not to be aware of the projects. He was addressing stakeholders at the 2024 Strategic Review meeting in Cape Coast.
We have upgraded the Tema Airport into an international status. We have rehabilitated Sunyani Airport Phase 1. We are going to Phase 2. Completed the construction of Terminal 3 project at Kotoka International Airport, expanded the Kumasi Airport into an international status, which is near completion and will be taken over, established an independent body responsible for aircraft incident and accident investigation and prevention.
Transport Minister Kwekufori Esiama enumerating some of the interventions that have been made in the transport sector. The minister says in spite of the huge infrastructural intervention pumped in by government since its assumption of office in 2017, most of the beneficiary communities appear not to have seen what has been done by government. He warned the chief directors and agency heads to rise to the occasion.
There's a popular saying that if you don't tell your story, someone else will. Not too long ago, the ministry conducted a rapid evaluation of the coastal fish landing site project. Surprisingly, despite the huge investment that we've made, majority of the people interviewed within the beneficial communities were not even aware of the project. The truth is that at times, or perhaps we have not been able to tell our story well. Therefore, going forward, I urge all of you to put forward an aggressive communication strategy to create awareness on the programs and projects of the sector. By so doing, it gives us confidence in declaring and demonstrating the good work of the President as we seek the mandate of the people. I also wish to charge the board and management to ensure that there is no labor unrest during this period. There should be regular engagement with workers to address their issues to avoid rumors which spark off such unwarranted workers' agitation. At the same time, I'm also urging workers not to put undue pressure on management.
Head of Civil Service, Dr. Evans Agredakon, urged the civil servants to be meticulous in their dealings to avert negative consequences.
When you are striking a synergy between development and democracy, you have a big problem. It's not a problem, it's a challenge, and it can be surmounted. One, we are dealing with much more sophisticated citizens who are coming in with new and wide demands. The expectations are high. They're comparing with other systems. They're comparing other sectors. They're comparing other services they are receiving from other institutions, organizations, and jurisdictions across the globe. Don't forget that governments have also come under serious pressure. And the democracy dictates that from time to time, our governments will come to the people, will subject them to the test of acceptability. Important ingredient of good governance. So every 4 years, our leaders will go and account for their stewardship.
Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan was hopeful the numerous interventions rolled out by government will help in transforming the sector.
In our daily diverse endeavors, transportation brings people together, fostering social interactions, cultural exchange, and community engagement. It is my prayer that the challenges confronting the sector would find lasting and sustainable solutions through the strategic review meeting.
The Transport Sector Review meeting assessed the performance of the transport sector, examined the prospects in the sector, and mapped out strategies to deal with the challenge.
Live on Joy News Desk, we will be back with business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. How much every Ghanaian is worth in monetary terms in the economy has not witnessed much growth in dollar terms. This is as a result of the challenges with the Ghana cedi during the period. Here's more in this report.
Ghana's economy in monetary terms reached more than 841 billion Ghana cedis ending December 2023. This should mean that every Ghanaian should be worth 26,000 Ghana cedis as at the end of 2023. The data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows in 2018, when the country's population was 30.8 million, the country's per capita income was 10,000 Ghana cedis. Fast forward to 2023, it increased to 26,000 Ghana cedis. However, when you review the numbers in dollar terms, the country's per capita income has rather witnessed some marginal increase over the past 6 years. In 2018, Ghana's per capita dollar terms was around $2,273. The amount in 2023 went up marginally to reach $2,365. The developments can be linked to the recent challenges with the Ghana cedi over that period in terms of its stability against the dollar. Now, per capita income in dollar terms has been the benchmark in measuring the country's wealth and growth on its citizens. A stronger per capita income could give some signal to investors that the economy is strong and they could have some good returns on their investment. So the next time we get worried about the cedi depreciation, it should not just be about the country's debt, but how that could affect the performance of the economy as a whole.
The Ghana Enterprises Agency says it is on course with the agenda to support the employment of more than 250,000 entrepreneurs across the country under its BizBox initiative, with support from the MasterCard Foundation. The initiative, which aims to empower entrepreneurs, has been touted as one of the flagship job creation programs by the agency. Speaking at a ceremony to exhibit some projects delivered under the initiative, Chief Executive Kosianke Aye assured that all regions will be covered before the program comes to an end. Here's more. The Business Box initiative was opened by the Ghana Enterprises Agency as another avenue to empower entrepreneurs to create more jobs for the youth. According to Chief Executive Kosianke Aye, the agency is on course to ensure that more than 250,000 youth benefit from the initiative with support from the MasterCard Foundation. She was speaking at the project exhibition in Accra.
So happy to see you. I already did a quick survey of what they have, and I'm very impressed with the work that we're doing here. And I know that this is a great opportunity for us all, and would also want to hear from you. As I mentioned, I'm not going to say much. The new project, Business in a Box, is very exciting for us. We're looking at supporting over 250,000 people across the length and breadth of this great nation, Ghana. We know we can do it. I know Godfred is looking at me and saying, I want more. Oliver Twist. But we are pushing, and we will make it happen and ensure that this is a great success. Rita, thank you so much for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us.
Some of the beneficiary entrepreneurs have been sharing their success stories with Joy Business.
I'm a proud beneficiary. The access to funds has really helped me in that prior to receiving the funds, I was operating in the dark, in the form of a cottage business. But through the funds, I've been able to scale up my business. My business now has visibility. We have an office space where we operate from and all that. Our customer base has also increased. We produce and sell household chemicals as well as organic-based cosmetics.
Some funds, grants from them, which I added up to buy my industrial leather machine, and then I've been able to secure a piece of land. Yeah, so aside that, I had trainings from them, and it's really helping my business in terms of keeping records, how to price your products, how to make profits. It's a lot. Sometimes you just learn them and you think you may not need it, but later you will need it.
I had this passion long ago, since I was small. I had the passion of cooking and baking as well. So I was doing the cooking when I heard of the program, the GA program. And the most interesting part of all is that when I heard of the NVTI, because I've been yearning to write the NVTI. So I just joined, registered, and enrolled for 6 months. And after the 6 months training, I brought out the career that was in me, because it was hidden.
The initiative is open to all at the various district business advisory offices of the Ghana Enterprises Agency. All right, and that's all in business. My name is Daryl Kwao. Welcome back to Aisha, who is back from the Eid celebration. She didn't give me rice and stew anyway.
Daryl, you'll have your rice, definitely.
Is a promise?
Yes, it is, of course. You know, I don't feel.
All right.
I promise I deliver.
Okay. You're all headed. The whole of Ghana is headed.
Thanks for bringing us with us. That will be 8-4 News Desk. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. See you again at 12.